I'm going to use my number 8 Sable Synthetic Blend, dip it in my water, and put some water on the palette. Then use a little New Gamboge and mix that into the water. What I'm looking for is a nice water-to-color blend. Then I'll use a little Indian Yellow. It's just a little lighter than the New Gamboge. I'm thinking I'm going to start light and then darken the color as needed. I'll want to mix the color well on my palette, so I don't have any hidden chunks of color in my brush. And now for the fun part. I'm going to take my number 8 Sable Synthetic Blend, go to the outside of my pencil drawing, and work my way in. I'll be using small little brush strokes. I'm going to want to leave enough space in between the lines so they look like individual stamens. And really try to notice how I'm applying the brush stroke. It's from the outside edge into the center. If you go too fast, the center can end up looking like a big blob on top of your beautiful flower. So how you apply your brushstroke is really important. Watch as I flatten my brush to cover a larger area. Using my number 8 synthetic, I'm going to use the previous color layer as my guide. I'm using the same technique as starting on the outside edge, working my way in. Again, if I applied this brushstroke in the opposite direction, I would have the tapered edge on the outside, which wouldn't look right. It would appear too pointy and sharp. And what I'm moving towards is working with more negative space. So what this basically means is that you're making little windows of color to give the impression of shape. And just a little off center, I'm going to create a starburst effect. That way all the lines don't look like they're going only in one direction. And I don't really want to do too much. I want to do enough to give the impression of the center looking complicated, but without it looking too busy. And as I apply my strokes, I'm going to use my number 14 Sable Synthetic Blend with clean water and just soften some of those edges out. This way, it'll be transparent enough to see the detail underneath without adding too much. Then I'll just continue along the edge, randomly placing the color here and there. Then once I'm satisfied with how it looks, I'll move on to the final details. But first, I'm going to let this dry and reevaluate. For more information on how to do this entire painting in detail and step by step, please visit my website, BirgitO'Connor.com.